the exile, and perhaps a lot of people, and this is something that is being taught widely in America, although you look at it, America still has a struggle, especially the black history in America, which is significant. Only in the 1960s did we start seeing women, blacks, to have the opportunity to vote. I mean, just in the 60s, 1960s. That's when all this started happening in America. But they still kept on in several schools, in high schools, teaching their children what black history is all about, and the struggle of the likes of Martin Luther King Jr., and what happened in Selma and some part of Alabama and some other struggles in DC and all that. Now, for someone like you, you are alive, you witnessed it, you operated it, you saw it, you were not allowed to stay in the country because of the threat of the military government. What was it like? Because a lot of young Nigerians don't know what it's even like, that you are operating a radio station that the government does not know where it existed. They were looking for those who are operating it up and down. A lot of people do not know what it means to be running in the fringes of the country, in the borders of the country, and running away from the eyes of the government for you not to be caught. What was it like? Your life was messed up, isn't it?
It was messed up, but it was also exhilarating. We were on the threshold of history. We were very determined to correct what we considered to be a travesty of justice and a travesty of humanity. We felt that we needed to bring our country back on track. And we were not really, I mean, it's not that we were not afraid or we were aimlessly bold. We just didn't fully think of the enormity of the threat it constituted beyond wanting to do the right thing. I mean, I carried transmitters of Radio Kuditart on an Air France flight that was destined for Cotonou in Benin Republic, and made a detour to Lagos in the heat of this crisis. I could have been picked up on that flight. I would have been history by now, as many found themselves to be. And during the Oputo Commission, some of the characters that were mandated to eliminate leaders of the struggle, they came up with their stories, they told stories. So we shouldn't make light of what happened, and I don't, by any stretch of imagination, want to create the impression that we were invincible in what we did. I think some of us we were just fortunate that we're still alive. Those who lost their lives were not stupid in what they did. They were following their conviction. That was what it was like. It was a moment of great stress for those involved, even for those who were not directly involved, family members of those who were involved. They were also confronted with the enormity of the crisis in the country. But at least one thing was clear. The myth of the military as messiahs was completely obliterated. And by the time 1998 came, all we were interested in was anything but the military. And that's why even we accepted the kind of democratic, or if you like, civilianized arrangement that came out of General Abdulsalami Abubakar's transition program, because many in the democracy movement were not at all convinced that that was the way to go. We thought we needed a full-fledged sovereign national conference that would produce a people's constitution that would then enable us to have a structure that would be thoroughly democratized and decentralized and would enable Nigeria to grow a lot more rapidly. That's not what happened. We got civilian government, and we've been struggling with that over the last 2.5 decades. But what is clear in the last 2.5 decades is also that Nigeria's political economy, fostered by that structure that we were unhappy with, is still built around allocation and patronage.